This is Words Worthwhile. Just a couple of days ago, I suffered the loss of Annie, my German Shepherd. To each and every one of you who have reached out to me through various means of social media, offering your words of encouragement and support during this time, I truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. The words I offer today were not my intended words for this episode of Words Worthwhile. But at the last moment, I decided to change today's episode to include 2 poems. I offer these in memory of my beloved Annie girl, and I dedicate them to each and every one of you who have suffered the loss of a pet that you love so dearly. The first is a poem composed by British Nobel laureate Rudyard Kipling, entitled The Power of the Dog. There is sorrow enough in the natural way from men and women to fill our day, and when we are certain of sorrow in store, why do we always arrange for more? Brothers and sisters, I bid you beware of giving your heart to a dog to tear. Buy a pup, and your money will buy love unflinching that cannot lie. Perfect passion and worship fed by a kick in the ribs or a pat on the head. Nevertheless, it is hardly fair to risk your heart for a dog to tear. When the 14 years which nature permits are closing in, asthma or tumor or fits, and the vet's unspoken prescription runs to lethal chambers or loaded guns, then you will find it's your own affair, but you've given your heart to a dog to tear. When the body that lived at your single will, with its whimper of welcome, is stilled, how still? When the spirit that answered your every mood is gone wherever it goes for good, you will discover how much more you care and will give your heart to a dog to tear. We've sorrowed enough in the natural way when it comes to burying Christian clay. Our loves are not given, but only lent, at compound interest of cent per cent. Though it is not always the case, I believe, that the longer we've kept them, the more do we grieve. For when debts are payable, right or wrong, a short time loan is as bad as a long. So why in heaven, before we are there, should we give our hearts to a dog to tear? A second poem I would like to share with you today is often attributed to Rudyard Kipling. However, I do not believe he is the author. My best research tells me that a lady by the name of Jane L. Sears authored the following poem entitled My Gift to Jesus. I wish someone had given little Jesus a dog as loyal and loving as mine, to sleep by his manger and gaze in his eyes and adore him for being divine. As our Lord grew to manhood, his own faithful dog would have followed him all through the day, while he preached to the crowds and made the sick well, and knelt in the garden to pray. It is sad to remember that Christ went away to face death alone and apart, with no tender dog following close behind to comfort its master's heart. And when Jesus rose on that Easter morn, how happy he would have been, as his dog kissed his hand and barked its delight for the one who died for man. The Lord has a dog now. I just sent him mine. the old pal so dear to me. And I smile through my tears on this first day alone, knowing there in eternity. This is Padre Piper, wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings.